In an era where technology is redefining every limit, agriculture, once seen as traditional, has become the very symbol of a productivity revolution. Labor efficiency has multiplied dozens of times, even as the workforce has fallen by more than 80%. Today, a single person in a cabin can do the work of 100 in the field. In the United States, millions of machines not only operate, but also learn and evolve, joining human intelligence to reshape how humanity feeds the planet. No longer bound to the ground, agriculture has truly taken flight. Modern seeding drones can carry up to 60 kilograms of seeds, covering more than 40 hectares in just 1 hour, a level of productivity that once required an entire fleet of tractors. Equipped with high-precision GPS and multispectral sensors, they map the terrain, analyze moisture, slope, and canopy density, and calculate the optimal drop point for every grain. As the wind shifts, they automatically adjust their flight to ensure each seed falls with centimeter-level precision. Even in turbulent skies, radar and self-correcting algorithms keep them steady, quietly sowing the future of intelligent agriculture. After completing their mission of sowing life, these drones take on another role. As the aerial pharmacists of modern agriculture, carrying dozens of liters of crop protection solutions, foliar fertilizers or biological agents, they glide precisely over rows of crops, coating every leaf in a fine. Seeding drones represent the beginning of life. Spraying drones are its invisible shield, a symbol of an agriculture where artificial intelligence and flight technology are reshaping how humanity nurtures the earth. Mist. The fascinating machine before you, with its rotating steel blades cutting into the soil, may look like a set of lifeless metal arms. But in reality, it's the InRow Weeder, an intelligent weeding system widely used by farmers across Europe and North America on high-tech vegetable fields. Each rotary blade is a curved steel tine mounted on a high-speed rotating shaft. As the machine moves, these shafts spin in perfect rhythm, allowing the tines to slip between plants, loosening soil, uprooting weeds, and breaking crusts, then retracting instantly before touching the delicate stems. Every motion is controlled by sensors, cameras, and precise electro-hydraulic systems, enabling the machine to detect the tiny gaps between plants with millimeter-level accuracy, as if guided by the intuition of a seasoned grower. With the ability to clear over 2 hectares per hour without a drop of herbicide, the InRow Weeder not only replaces human labor but also paves the way for sustainable agriculture, where soil is cared for by machinery instead of chemicals. With the rotary rake, the idea behind its invention was simple yet brilliant. What if we could gather an entire field of grass with the precision of a Swiss watch? Unlike traditional rakes that drag along the ground, the rotary rake stands its rotors upright, allowing each flexible spring tine to gently lift the grass, spin it in a spiral motion, and form perfectly uniform windrows, as if measured by a ruler. The result? Grass that dries faster, stays cleaner, and retains up to 30% more nutritional value. Beneath its steel frame lies a network of self-balancing sensors and hydraulic controls, enabling the machine to cover over 12 hectares per hour while maintaining smooth, precise, and almost silent motion. Yet while the rotary rake brought finesse in keeping the forage clean and nutrient-rich, it quickly revealed its limits on the vast, sun-baked fields stretching hundreds of hectares. Slow speed, complex drivetrains, and limited flexibility. That's where the wheel rake takes over. A machine equipped with up to 20 steel wheels, spanning 12 meters in a single pass, creating a revolution in speed and efficiency. Without motors or drive shafts, the wheel rake harnesses the ground's own friction to convert motion into powerful sweeping force, flinging grass and hay neatly into straight, even windrows, as if drawn by a line. In this design, simplicity is strength. Fewer parts, lighter weight, and up to 20% less fuel consumption. The result? Nearly double the working speed, while maintaining the same stability and precision across every row. Those round shapes scattered across the fields, looking like giant wheels of cheese from above, aren't decoration at all. They're bales of hay, carefully wrapped and sealed by a remarkable machine known as the Bale Wrapper. Once a bale is tightly formed, a hydraulic lift grips it and places it onto a dual rotating platform. There, the heavy cylinder begins to spin while an arm sweeps around it at up to 36 revolutions per minute. Layering sheets of stretchable PE film, material that blocks sunlight, seals out air, and allows the hay to ferment naturally, like pickles preserved in their own brine. The operator barely lifts a finger. Automatic sensors handle everything: film tension, wrapping direction, even the number of layers. The result is a series of tight, glossy, perfectly sealed bales, ready to feed cattle through the long winter, when out there, the fields hold nothing but frost and silence. In Washington, during the harvest season of September and October, apple picking is entering a new chapter. In the past, manual labor offered short-term savings, but came with growing problems: labor shortages at peak season, productivity that rose and fell with human stamina, and countless apples bruised or damaged before reaching the market. That's why apple picking robots are becoming an increasingly common sight across the orchards. Equipped with AI-powered cameras and soft robotic grippers, they can identify ripe apples, extend a vacuum suction arm to gently pluck them within seconds. They work tirelessly, day and night, unaffected by fatigue or weather, and keep each apple nearly perfectly intact. Though the upfront cost is higher than hiring human pickers, in the long run, these robots cut labor expenses, stabilize yields, and solve the chronic shortage of workers. The contest between human hands and robotic arms is no longer just about how an apple is picked. It's about who will shape the future of America's apple industry. In South Texas, when the rind deepens to dark green and the stem curls at the tip, farmers know the melons are ready. One soft thump with the knuckles tells them the flesh inside is full and sweet. In the past, harvest season meant a race against the scorching sun. 6 to 7 kilogram melons passed from hand to hand, where a single slip could ruin an entire batch. Today, much of that strain is gone. Semi-mechanized conveyor systems now glide alongside the rows, catching each melon straight from the picker's hands. Rubber padding and synchronized rollers absorb every impact, letting the fruit float gently onto the truck without a scratch. These systems may look simple, but they've quietly transformed a crop worth nearly $6 billion a year, helping America's watermelons reach the world as sweet, fresh, and effortless as ever. A single head of cauliflower is more than 92% water, crisp, porous, and so fragile that one rough motion can crush it into pulp. Yet across the mist-covered fields of Europe and North America, giant vegetable harvesting combines can lift each head from the soil without bruising a single floret. Dozens of hydraulic mechanisms move in perfect rhythm, like the fingers of a colossal robotic hand. Automatic clamps open and embrace the stalk. Precision blades cut cleanly at the base, and parallel conveyors carry the pristine white head gently to the storage bin. In just 5 hours, one such machine can harvest nearly 400 tons of cauliflower. And the marvel lies not only in its speed, but in its care. Every head intact, spotless, and ready for its journey from Europe's cold fields to dinner tables in Tokyo or New York. Now come with me deep into the northern forests, where the scent of fresh-cut wood mingles with the hum of saws in the cold air. Here, in small lumberyards scattered among the trees, no one swings axes or handsaws anymore. The heavy labor has been handed over to an automatic log-splitting machine. Designed for small-scale producers looking to save on labor, this machine can handle logs up to 40 centimeters in diameter. Once the log is clamped, a steel saw blade drops down and slices through in seconds. Immediately after, a hydraulic cylinder generates around 27 tons of pressure, pushing the wood through a splitting wedge that divides it cleanly into even sections, all powered smoothly by a 14-horsepower engine. A rubber conveyor belt then carries the split wood out, stacking it neatly, ready for drying or storage. With just one operator, the machine can process dozens of cubic meters of wood per day, a task that once required an entire crew, now reduced to the pull of a single hydraulic lever. The rocket launcher mounted on this truck isn't built for battle, it's the fog cannon truck, a high-power sprayer designed for large-scale disinfection, mist irrigation, and pest control. Its nozzle operates on an aerodynamic turbine principle. A high-speed jet stream from the turbine fan pulls in the liquid solution, compressing it into billions of ultrafine droplets, each only about 40 microns in diameter. With a spray capacity of up to 400 liters per minute and a reach of nearly 300 meters, this machine is ideal for rice paddies, tea plantations, and fruit orchards, dramatically reducing the risk of chemical exposure to workers' skin and clothing. With just 200 square meters of land, modern farmers can now achieve yields up to 50 times greater by growing crops vertically instead of horizontally. What began as a bold idea has quickly become a lifeline for cities facing a crisis of arable land. In this system, crops are cultivated on multi-tiered racks, using 80 to 90% of the available height to multiply production by 5 to 10 times compared to traditional farming on the same footprint. Every part of the process is intelligently controlled. LED lighting mimics natural sunlight. Closed-loop hydroponics delivers precise nutrients to each plant, and water usage drops by up to 95%. With virtually no pesticides required. The result is fresh, clean, and consistent produce year-round, no matter the climate. More importantly, it signals a new era, one where cities can feed themselves, growing fresh food right within their own skylines. These combine harvesters are specialized for sunflower crops, boasting a capacity of over 10 tons per hour. Engineered to do what humans simply cannot, harvest hundreds of hectares in a single day without losing a single seed. At the front is the sunflower header, a precision steel jaw equipped with narrow intake fingers that gently support each heavy flower head and slice cleanly at the base, using a high-speed rotating shaft. The stalks are drawn into the threshing chamber, where a rotating drum and a stream of compressed air separate the seeds from the flower discs through centrifugal force, sending them straight to the sieves and air fans for cleaning. Each glossy black seed is separated, filtered, and collected into the rear grain tank, all within a closed, fast, and impeccably precise cycle. Compared to manual harvesting, these mechanical giants boost productivity by up to 6 times, reduce losses by as much as 40%, and are widely used across Ukraine, Russia, and Argentina, the sunflower kingdoms of the world. More than just machines, they've become symbols of modern agriculture, where mechanical power and automation technology work hand in hand to elevate the global sunflower oil industry to a value of tens of billions of dollars each year. Cantaloupe, the cousin of watermelon, yet richer in aroma and sweetness with its juicy orange flesh, is among the most valuable crops grown under the sun-drenched skies of California and Arizona. From June to September, when the melons take on their signature golden hue, the sweetest harvest season of the year officially begins. To preserve peak ripeness and natural flavor, many farms still rely on traditional hand-picking methods, selecting only the perfectly matured fruits and cutting them gently to avoid bruising the delicate rind. But on farms spanning hundreds of hectares, mobile conveyor harvesters have become the extended arms of human labor. Dozens of workers move along the rows, cutting the melons and placing them on a continuously moving conveyor belt, where color and size sensors instantly sort them right in the field. Thanks to these intelligent mechanical harvesters, farmers can now gather over 25 tons of cantaloupes per day, dramatically shortening harvest time, multiplying productivity, and satisfying the summer craving for sweetness across the US, Canada, and Japan. Say goodbye to the sunlit fields and step down into the cool, damp cellars of Belgium, where people grow vegetables without sunlight. Sounds strange, doesn't it? Yet, in that absolute darkness, pale ivory endive shoots quietly thrive, crisp and delicately bitter, harvested with meticulous care and precision in every slice. Today, in modern facilities, this delicate task is aided by the rotary disc cutter, an indispensable helper in the final stage of production. A large rotating disc divided into compartments holds each root horizontally in place. As the disc spins, every root passes a razor-sharp blade positioned exactly at the joint between the stem and the bud, slicing cleanly without harming the fragile young leaves above. The entire process runs continuously and precisely, with each rotation handling 4 to 6 roots. Once separated, the endive buds gently drop into a collection chute, then move onto a sorting conveyor, where workers remove any loose or misshapen heads, ensuring that only these masterpieces of darkness are allowed to step into the light. Each year, Belgium harvests over 110,000 tons of endive, accounting for the majority of Europe's production, cementing its status as the world's leading endive producer, where these ivory buds have become a true symbol of Belgian agricultural pride. October, in California's Central Valley, a fruit long seen as a symbol of prosperity, the pomegranate enters its peak harvest season. But unlike its mechanized cousins like oranges or apples, more than 90% of the world's pomegranates are still harvested by hand, because no machine has yet mastered the delicate touch needed to handle their fragile, thin skins. Each worker wields a pair of specialized pruning shears, cutting close to the stem and gently placing the fruit into a basket carried on their back. Twisting or pulling is strictly forbidden. Even the smallest tear can oxidize the glossy red rind, rendering the fruit unfit for export. Once the heavy baskets are filled, they are loaded onto trucks and transported to the processing facility, where each pomegranate is washed, polished, and graded by size before being packed for export. On large-scale farms, harvesting conveyors are now used to gently transfer the fruit from the picker's hands to collection bins, minimizing bruising and increasing efficiency by over 30%. This seamless collaboration between human hands and mechanical arms has helped California's farmers produce more than 250,000 tons of pomegranates each year, making the United States one of the world's leading suppliers of premium quality pomegranates. Around the same time, in the land of the rising sun, the persimmon harvest season bursts into color, painting the hillsides in brilliant shades of orange and red. Depending on the variety and intended use, harvesting methods differ. For crisp persimmons with thicker skins, farmers use long poles to gently shake the branches, letting the fruits fall softly onto mats laid beneath, without a single bruise. But for soft varieties with skins as delicate as silk, where even a touch can leave a mark, pickers must climb ladders, carefully snip each fruit with specialized shears, and place them gently into foam-lined baskets to preserve their flawless appearance. On old trees towering 6 to 7 meters high, the task becomes even more challenging. Each precise cut must be made with absolute care to avoid damaging the fruit. After harvesting, the persimmons are divided into two main types: crisp persimmons sold fresh, and astringent ones destined to become hoshigaki, Japan's famous dried persimmons, hung for weeks in the autumn air until the skin wrinkles and the flesh turns honey sweet. From these fiery orchards of autumn, Japan produces over 200,000 tons of persimmons each year, turning this fragile fruit into a symbol of patience, craftsmanship, and pride in Japanese agriculture. Sorghum harvesting in the United States is a spectacular display of mechanized power, where technology and human skill come together in a grand symphony of modern agriculture. After 3 to 4 months of growth, vast fields of crimson-red sorghum across the central and southern states reach their golden harvest season. Leading the charge are high-tech combine harvesters equipped with GPS and artificial intelligence. They sweep across the fields like steel war chariots, slicing through dense stalks with speed and pinpoint precision. Automatic sensors continuously adjust cutting depth and speed, allowing the machines to adapt seamlessly to changing terrain, gathering every single grain into massive storage tanks without a trace of loss. Once the grain is collected, the remaining stalks, known as stover, are processed right on site. Baling machines crush and compress the stalks into uniform hay bales, which are then transported to farms as high-fiber feed for cattle and sheep during the winter months. Thanks to this fully mechanized and closed-loop system, productivity can exceed 10 tons per hour, reducing labor demands while maximizing efficiency. Sorghum harvesting is more than just a season. It's a powerful testament to the strength, ingenuity, and enduring spirit of modern American agriculture. Chickpeas, the tiny, protein-rich legumes that give life to dishes like hummus and falafel, have also become a symbol of sustainable agriculture in the United States. Across the vast fields stretching from Washington to Montana, harvest season begins when the pods turn pale yellow, signaling the perfect moment to awaken the nutrients drawn from the earth. The giants of the field, combine harvesters, are once again at work, but when it comes to chickpeas, they move with far greater delicacy than when handling tougher crops like grain sorghum. Instead of slicing rapidly at high speed, the machine's cutting blades and threshing drums are precisely calibrated to prevent cracks or splits in the fragile seeds, which are highly sensitive due to their thin shells and high moisture content. Thanks to advanced sensors and automation technology, each machine can harvest dozens of hectares per day, ensuring the chickpeas retain their perfect round shape, pale beige color, and smooth texture, the gold standard for food processing. After harvesting, the chickpeas are cleaned, dried, and either packed for sale or processed into hummus, chickpea flour, or pasta, while substandard seeds are repurposed as nutritious animal feed. Truffle mushrooms, among the rarest on Earth, with an annual yield of only about 200 tons, are symbols of luxury and mystery in the culinary world. Hidden deep underground, they grow only when tree roots, moisture, soil pH, and climate reach perfect harmony, making every gram worth its weight in black gold, fetching thousands of dollars per pound. In the US, Oregon is the truffle capital, thanks to its dense hazelnut and Douglas fir forests, while California and Washington are emerging as promising new regions. To uncover these treasures beneath the soil, people rely on truffle hunting pigs and dogs. Female pigs have an incredible sense of smell, but tend to eat their finds, so dogs, especially Lagotto Romagnolo and Labrador Retrievers, have become the preferred partners. When a dog pinpoints the spot, hunters gently dig around to avoid damaging the truffle. Each discovery is a moment of triumph, where humans and nature move in harmony, uncovering the black gems of the earth. Flying just a few meters above the fields, agricultural pilots turn farming into one of the most daring and precision-driven professions in the world. With high-capacity nozzles mounted under its wings, a single agricultural aircraft can treat 300 to 600 hectares in a single day, achieving speeds tens of times faster than ground-based tractors or manual spraying. This massive efficiency has turned crop-dusting planes into a strategic weapon against plant diseases. In large-scale farming regions, especially industrial banana plantations in Ecuador, Costa Rica, and Colombia, these aircraft are nearly indispensable for combating deadly outbreaks such as black sigatoka, a fungus that can slash yields by up to 50% if left unchecked. Yet, alongside their undeniable effectiveness, aerial spraying also triggers major controversy. With just one strong gust of wind, chemicals can drift for kilometers, raising risks of water contamination and health concerns for nearby communities. A machine that can literally mesmerize you, that is the stone burrier. A powerhouse that transforms entire fields filled with rocks into smooth, level soil in the blink of an eye. The working mechanism of the stone burrier is based on a high-speed rotating shaft equipped with sharp blades. As it moves forward, this shaft breaks up the topsoil, crushes and filters it, while pushing stones, weeds, and plant residues deep beneath the surface. On top, only a fine, fluffy, and level soil layer remains, the perfect environment for sowing and planting. This machine is especially popular in Europe, particularly in Italy, Spain, and France, regions with rocky terrain and soils used for vineyards, olive groves, and vegetable cultivation. Beyond Europe, it has also been adopted in high-tech agriculture in Japan and China, as well as in urban landscaping projects across Asia. Picture a giant iron plow carving perfect lines across the field, as if sketching geometry onto the soil itself. This implement is pulled by a tractor with a large V-shaped metal mold mounted at the back. As it moves forward, the curved wings push soil from both sides toward the center, compressing and shaping it into straight ridges with uniform height and width. This mechanism not only loosens the soil, improves drainage, and maintains moisture around the roots, but also creates the ideal environment for crops that require raised beds such as potatoes, sweet potatoes, sugarcane, corn, and various vegetables. This modern transformer machine is an exceptionally effective solution, designed specifically for orchards and widely used in major fruit-producing countries, such as Brazil, the United States, Spain, Italy, and Australia. Its operating mechanism is based on a powerful spraying system mounted on a massive U-shaped frame with a tank capacity of up to 4,000 liters. As the machine moves along the rows of trees, each spray boom can be adjusted in pressure and angle to release a fine mist that coats the foliage evenly on both sides. The multi-level spray design ensures maximum coverage from the base to the top, reaching even the inner branches that are nearly impossible to treat manually. Thanks to its ability to treat multiple rows simultaneously, the machine's efficiency far surpasses that of smaller tractor-mounted sprayers or handheld units. From that point on, orchards of oranges, apples, mandarins, or grapes no longer have to fear the rapid spread of pests and diseases, as they are cared for evenly, with less time and labor. Of course, owning such advanced technology comes at a price, around $18,000 to $20,000 US. Aeroponic potatoes are one of the greatest breakthroughs in modern agriculture. In this system, the roots and tubers do not grow in soil, but are suspended in the air inside tightly controlled chambers. Ultra-fine nozzles continuously spray nutrient mist directly onto the roots, providing all the water and minerals required. As a result, these seed potatoes are usually ready for harvest after 8 to 10 weeks, which is twice as fast as conventional cultivation. That is why, in a well-managed aeroponic facility, yields can reach 70 to 80 tons of seed potatoes per hectare per cycle, ensuring a stable supply and high quality for commercial production. However, this technology also has some drawbacks. The initial investment cost is very high, requiring misting systems, electricity, and climate-controlled greenhouses. Moreover, the plants depend entirely on the system. Any power outage or technical malfunction can put the entire crop at risk. Despite these challenges, the economic benefits are remarkable. Farmers and enterprises can recover their investment quickly, thanks to the much higher number of seed tubers, while also reducing the risk of diseases compared to conventional cultivation. This is why aeroponics is rapidly expanding in India, China, Kenya, and many European countries, becoming a strategic solution to secure clean seed potatoes and strengthen global food security. So what do you think about this method? Gone are the days of gathering straw by hand or stacking bundles onto horse-drawn carts, a backbreaking job that consumed countless hours. Today, across vast modern fields stretching to the horizon, massive tractors work side by side with JCB telehandlers, replacing human labor with raw power and precision. The telehandler operates through a hydraulic boom that can extend outward and upward, fitted with clamps or specialized forks to grip, lift, and move bales, weighing hundreds of kilograms. Its extended reach allows it to stack straw bales high onto trailers or into storage barns, something ordinary forklifts could never achieve. Once loaded onto trucks, tons of straw bales are transported back to farms and storage facilities, where they are preserved as valuable feed, bedding, or even biofuel. Across Europe and the United States, the JCB telehandler has become the farmer's #1 assistant during the bountiful harvest season. A machine powerful enough to devour an entire tree in seconds. That is the hydraulic mulcher head you see here. As its steel blades spin at incredible speed, branches and trunks are instantly shredded into mulch, creating a scene that is both brutal and mesmerizing. Gone are the days of slow manual cutting. Now, in just a few seconds, a dense thicket can be completely erased. In practice, a single hydraulic mulcher can grind through nearly 20 to 50 tons of wood every hour, meaning that with 1,000 of these machines working together, an entire 10,000-acre forest could vanish in barely half a day. This machine is widely used in forestry management, clearing utility corridors, logging operations, and site preparation for construction. Its greatest advantage lies in unmatched efficiency, outperforming traditional methods many times over, while producing organic mulch that can be reused to enrich the soil. It stands as a striking example of the strength of modern forestry mechanization. Where dozens of workers would once spend days clearing land, a single machine can now accomplish the same monumental task in record time. This is a high-pressure manure sprayer, specially designed to operate on steep mountain slopes where tractors or conventional sprayers cannot reach. Mounted on a Brielmayer slope mower chassis with its signature spiked rollers, the machine connects to a powerful pump system that delivers liquid manure through long hoses. The adjustable spray nozzle projects the fertilizer in a wide arc, ensuring even coverage across pastures and fields. Farmers in the alpine regions of Europe often use this technology to spread natural fertilizers from dairy farms directly onto mountain meadows. The result is richer, more productive grasslands while reducing dependence on chemical fertilizers. By turning animal waste into a valuable resource, this machine represents both efficiency and sustainability in modern agriculture. From futuristic aeroponic chambers to mountain slope sprayers, these machines show how human ingenuity is reshaping agriculture on every scale. Dufttunnel in German means the tunnel of fragrance. Imagine walking through more than 2,000 golden flower pots arranged in curved layers, surrounding you from every side. As you step inside, it feels like entering a flowing river of radiant yellow hues and drifting aromas, turning the entire space into something vibrant and enchanting. The structure is designed as a giant steel tube, with external frames holding rows of potted plants and flowers. This makes the installation both strong and flexible, allowing seasonal changes of blossoms to keep the experience fresh throughout the year. This unique creation, invented by a group of visionary architects from Denmark, is not only a striking landmark, but also a living expression of the connection between art, architecture, and ecology, transforming an ordinary walkway into a multi-sensory journey filled with poetry and wonder. Every year, greenhouse cucumbers reach a staggering output of around 40 million tons, nearly half of the world's total supply, bringing in an estimated $27 billion for the high-tech agriculture industry. With their unmatched productivity and consistent quality, greenhouses are seen as the farming method of the future, paving the way for sustainable agriculture worldwide. Now, step with me inside these lush greenhouses, where miracles are crafted by diligent hands and the technology of tomorrow. To achieve a high survival rate and ensure uniform fruit quality, 90% of cucumber farms today choose to cultivate from seedlings germinated in modern nurseries. The first step in seedling production is preparing the substrate trays. These trays are typically 50 by 30 centimeters in size and divided into 40 to 60 evenly spaced cells. Inside each cell lies a layer of substrate made from coconut fiber, peat moss, or rock wool, materials that are lightweight, airy, and disease-free. On the tray surface, an automatic perforation system creates small holes about 1 to 2 centimeters deep, allowing the seeds to settle neatly. Alongside tray preparation, cucumber seeds are also carefully processed and meticulously selected. These seeds are taken from specially chosen cucumbers with high uniformity, firm shells, and completely free from pests, diseases, or cracks. In the sowing process, a vacuum system lifts each tiny seed, evenly distributes them along the conveyor, and drops them precisely into the pre-made holes in the substrate trays. Next, the conveyor carries the trays through a sprinkler system that simulates artificial rain. The water is applied in a fine, even layer, just enough to moisten the surface coating without causing waterlogging. This step is crucial to ensure a high germination rate. Finally, small sticks about 20 to 25 centimeters long are placed into each cell to guide the seedling's growth, helping them develop upright. The trays are then gathered and transferred to the nursery area for the next stage of care. In many high-tech farms, instead of direct seeding, cucumbers are cultivated from pre-nurtured seedlings. These healthy young plants, about 10 to 15 centimeters tall, are transferred into greenhouses using automated transplanting systems. This method increases survival rates, ensures uniform growth, saves time, and significantly shortens the production cycle. In modern nurseries, seedling trays are placed under strictly controlled environmental conditions to maximize survival rates. Temperatures are kept stable at 25 to 28 degrees Celsius, while humidity is maintained between 80 to 90% to create the perfect environment for germination and early growth. On cloudy days, specialized LED lights are switched on to provide supplemental photosynthetic illumination, ensuring seedlings maintain a steady growth rate. At the same time, irrigation and nutrient delivery systems are fully automated, supplying dissolved fertilizer solutions tailored to each growth stage. Thanks to desynchronized care, after just 3 to 4 weeks, the young plants reach heights of 15 to 20 centimeters, bearing 2 to 3 deep green true leaves, with evenly spread roots and sturdy stems supported by the guiding sticks placed earlier. Once they meet the required standards, all trays undergo a final inspection, where weak or uneven seedlings are removed. Afterward, the seedling trays are neatly packed, carefully arranged on conveyor lines, and moved into temporary storage. Here, humidity and temperature are kept stable to prevent transplant shock during transport. Finally, the trays are distributed to commercial greenhouses, ready to begin large-scale cultivation. Inside the greenhouse, healthy seedlings are carefully prepared by workers before being transplanted. Each young plant is gently placed into substrate bags or specialized growing racks, where planting holes have already been prepared. Immediately afterward, a drip irrigation system is connected directly to the base of each plant, ensuring precise delivery of water and nutrient solution. Cucumbers are not simply watered in the usual way, but nourished through a hydroponic drip system with a precise formula of nitrogen, potassium, magnesium, and other micronutrients, often referred to as a nutritional cocktail. Thanks to this laboratory-like precision, the plants can grow so rapidly that they may stretch several centimeters overnight, leading Dutch farmers to joke that they can actually hear cucumbers growing. Because cucumbers grow so quickly, workers must frequently use tools to secure the growing tips, preventing the plants from spreading out of control. Overhead, trellis systems are installed along each row, with the stems clipped to the wires using small plastic fasteners to guide them upright. As the vines lengthen, they are carefully wrapped around the wires or lowered, creating infinite plants that can reach 10 to 12 meters and continue producing fruit without pause. Thanks to this technique, the cucumber rows stand neatly aligned like a vibrant green wall, maximizing light exposure and ventilation, and yielding straight, uniform, high-quality fruits. During the growth phase, cucumber greenhouses are monitored by advanced sensor systems that continuously track temperature, humidity, and CO2 levels. In daylight hours, additional CO2 is supplied to boost photosynthesis, which can raise yields by 20 to 30%. Yet even a 2 to 3 Celsius fluctuation or a shortfall of water can make the fruit bitter, so shades, fans, and misting systems are constantly adjusted automatically. Throughout the care process, workers regularly remove old leaves, diseased foliage, and unnecessary side shoots. This pruning improves light penetration and airflow, reducing the risk of fungal diseases. At the same time, nutrients are directed toward flowers and fruits, helping cucumbers grow straight, uniform, and of the highest quality. Cucumbers in greenhouses are vulnerable to pests, from aphids and thrips to spider mites. Instead of using chemical pesticides, farmers release beneficial insects, natural predators that hunt down these pests. At first glance, these tiny particles may look like pesticides, but in fact, they are living insects, tiny guardians released to protect the cucumbers. While cucumbers grown in open fields require bees and other insects for pollination to bear fruit, this is almost impossible inside greenhouses. For that reason, most greenhouse cucumber varieties are parthenocarpic, able to set fruit without pollination. Thanks to this trait, the plants produce reliably even in closed environments. Moreover, the cucumbers remain straight and smooth, free from curves or deformities. Thanks to the combination of smart monitoring technology and meticulous care, after about 30 to 40 days of planting, each cucumber vine in the greenhouse reaches peak performance, flowering simultaneously and entering a phase of steady harvest. At this stage, workers pick cucumbers every 2 to 3 days to ensure the fruits reach standard size, retain their crispness, and keep a deep green color. To guarantee premium quality, harvesting is done mostly by hand. Skilled workers walk along each row, using small knives or specialized scissors to gently cut the stems, then carefully place the fruits into crates or carts to avoid scratches. Once the carts are filled, the results of weeks of careful cultivation are immediately transported to processing facilities for sorting and packaging, where each cucumber is meticulously prepared before reaching consumers worldwide. But have you ever wondered what happens to cucumber plants once a harvest is completed? Cucumbers are short-cycle crops, producing for only a limited period before quickly declining. For this reason, once the final fruits are picked, the entire vines are cut down, collected, and sent for composting or recycled into organic fertilizer. This not only cleans and resets the greenhouse for the next planting cycle, but also helps close the loop of sustainable farming. Meanwhile, at the packing facility, freshly harvested cucumbers are placed onto an automated conveyor system and directed to different packaging zones. Here, each cucumber undergoes a visual inspection, with misshapen or scratched fruits removed, before passing through grading machines that sort them by size and weight into uniform groups. What sets greenhouse cucumbers apart from those grown outdoors is that they do not need to be washed before packaging. Because the entire growing process is strictly controlled, the plants never come into contact with soil, rainwater, or chemical pesticides. Even the workers responsible for plant care or harvesting must undergo strict disinfection procedures before entering the greenhouse. As a result, the cucumbers retain their natural waxy coating, a protective layer that preserves freshness and crispness throughout storage and transport. The selected cucumbers are then directed to be tray-packed, shrink-wrapped, or neatly placed in cartons, ready for labeling and shipping. Finally, once labeled, the boxes of cucumbers are neatly lined up on conveyors. Robotic arms automatically lift and stack them onto pallets, forming sturdy blocks of goods. Every pallet is standardized for easy transport and cold storage. From here, the cucumbers are ready to leave the facility, heading to supermarkets and dining tables around the world.